So during the course of your employment law case, you may hear about mediation and arbitration. So what's the difference? Hi, I'm Tom Spiggle with the Spiggle Law Firm. We help people who have been fired or afraid that they might be. So in most civil cases, and employment cases or civil cases, you're going to have the opportunity to mediate the case. And this is where you sit down with a third party. If it's private mediation, it's a retired judge or somebody who's really experienced in that area of the law. There are entire groups that offer mediators. You can go to the groups and they'll give you a menu of people to choose from. And usually both sides have to agree on the mediator. If it's through the courts, then you're usually assigned we'll call a magistrate judge, somebody who's not hearing your case, but they are there to help try to get the case resolved. The big difference between mediation and arbitration is that mediation is not what we call binding, right? Unless you reach a settlement and you've reduced to a contract and you sign it, what happens in the mediation does not affect what goes on in the rest of the case. It stays in that room, and it's up to you as whether you sign an agreement or not. Arbitration is more like court. So it's where you have, again, it's a third party, it's usually through a private organization. There's one called JAMS, one called AAA, that offer these arbitrators. And again, sometimes you have some say in who they are, sometimes you don't. And it's like a court case. You go, and at the end of it, whatever the arbitrator, sometimes it's a panel, decides, you have to live with that, just like it is a court verdict. So those are the two differences. And sometimes you can go from mediation to arbitration. Arbitration sometimes is mandatory if you've signed an agreement beforehand, as sometimes happens in employment cases, to arbitrate as part of you signing on with that company. You may have to arbitrate. You may choose it willingly and decide that you would like to do that. So those are the two big differences. Mediation, sitting down with a third party, you are trying to get the case resolved. At the end of it, unless you agree to the outcome, agree to the settlement, you are not held to it. Arbitration is more like court, more like private court. And at the end of it, whatever decision is made, that is generally the end, and you have to live with that. So I hope that helps. Good luck out there, guys.